Whereabouts in the south end of Liverpool was the cobbler shop you had?
It was in Park Road actually, in the Dingle.
Yeah, and did Albie and Billy both go to Wellington Road School?
No, Billy went to Wellington Road School. And he went to Dinglevale School.
Dinglevale.
I think
I'm a Dinglevale dunce.
Actually, Ringo Starr was there, wasn't he?
No, Ringo Starr was in St Silas. St Silas was the school they go to about 11 years of age. And then when they were 11, they either went to Wellington Road School or Dinglevale. Well, we thought Wellington Road School was a bit nearer for Billy to go to. And he went to Wellington Road School. But Albert, he was opposite. He went to St Paul's School in the Dingle, and then from there he went down to Dinglevale School. Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody
Questions?
else?
Yes, one there towards the back. Thank you.
For a mother to lose a child and to cope with your grief, do you think keeping his memory alive for his fans has helped you with that?
Absolutely, they have. I feel closer with meeting Billy's fans, and I mean they ask me when I meet them different questions. I'm always open to tell them what if I can, what they like to know, and I have kept in touch since Billy died, and even before. I used to have quite a lot of fans round the door, many times, first thing in the morning, especially Sundays when we're in the old house. I mean, Halliburton Street used to be blocked both ways. And we used to get up Sunday morning, we'd know as soon as we got up that door's gonna, somebody's going to be at the door. And as you were saying, Spencer, when he did the Empire, and Albert saying about the shade coming through the window, I was there at the back. I was there when that fell down from the window, the very top window. And all those people, they all managed to, even a lady in a pushed a wheelchair, the other lady in it, all the way from the Empire to Halliburton Street. And that road, Halliburton Street, was absolutely packed, and it was pouring with rain. And I had pieces of paper stuck down my neck, for autographs. I couldn't get in the door. And we had girls leaving up till well after midnight, round the back on the wall, trying to get in. In fact, two, they were in the 50s and late 50s now, and they remember, they've been in touch with me, and they remember me bringing them in and drying the hair. That's how they were. So I have kept in touch with a lot. I really made them now into friends.
Is Halliburton Street still there?
No, unfortunately, when we moved, my mother went into the house, and she was in for quite a while. And now it is gone. They built, it's just gone. Big bingo all on the corner.
Would you like to answer something about that grief, Albie?
Yeah.
Coping with the fans and things. Yes.
But as your mum said, the fans have really been unbelievably good, to my mum and even to me, so it does help, to tell you the truth, and that's why they're all here now. It still helps. Because it's sad he died so young.
Yeah.
But what can one do? I've got the same problems. I've got kidney problems and everything. And I just do it. I just do it because of him. And that it's keep his music alive, which I know it's always going to be around, because Billy's music doesn't seem to date. It's like when you listen to it now, it's still fresh. And when he died, I was so shocked, because I just didn't expect him to die. And because he certainly didn't, because we were making plans to do a duet and go into management and record producing and managing people and getting some new talent. And
we just made new records, haven't we?
Yeah. Tony is sort of a bit like. Some people say he was making a comeback, but he really didn't go away. To be truthful, he just had a bit of time out because of his health, and he just thought he needed to come back, and he was missing the live shows and things like that. Because he loved to perform, but that thing myself. It's just when it's in you, you want to do it. And like now, I'm like getting older now, And sometimes it can be a bit difficult, you know, but you just do it because you love it, you know. So the people that come here, they're all like, they all help us to be truthful. And as we now said, a lot of the people who are fans are friends. And I've got a lot of friends. So that's one good thing, you know. And my mum has, and she's 84 now, you know. And she got up on stage last night and I thought she was bloody lovely.
Right, and another question in the middle there.
When did Billy become interested in bird watching, and did this have an effect on his health?
You hear that?
Well, he did, because you know, from a boy, really. I mean, we had in the old house in Wycherley+Burton Street. I mean, his dad made this sort of little aviary there, and Billy went into the town, and he bought these 2 birds. I think they were South African finches. And whether they blue tit, I don't know. I don't know South African finch, but anyway, whatever they were. And of course, he had them. And his dad even got a tree out of the park and put this tree in, you know, and he had these birds. And of course, he, you know, he's very interested in these birds, and he kept watching them. We thought, we're not about laying eggs, you know. For the simple reason, Albert had come in one day, and he'd let one of the birds out. And we had the cage, and we had it on the window ledge upstairs, trying to get this bird back. We couldn't get it in. You know, it'd come so far, we couldn't get back in a cage to put it in. So I thought, God, what am I going to do if he comes in now and see that there's only one bird? So I went into the town, and I went into the shop, and I said, I want one of these birds, you know. I thought they were South African finch, but I don't know. And the chap said, do you want a male or a female? Well, I didn't know what it was. So I said, well, I don't know. So he gave me this bird, and he said they must have been the same sex. So there were never any eggs, and you couldn't understand why there were never any eggs. So that was the first start of him, really. And of course, Albert as well, they used to go into the park. Billy was interested in birds' eggs. And they'd be up the trees, you know, collecting it. But he never... You got up the trees, yes. But, you see, he used to always say to him, if there's only 1 or 2, don't take them. If there's about 3, you can take 1, but don't take them all. Yeah. So do you want to finish that, Albert?
Yeah, because he used to put a pin on and blow them out and all that. Because there seems to be some sort of a fad at the time where people were collecting eggs and that sort of stuff. But there's one instance where I'm over a tree and I couldn't get down. I brought the egg and he said, put it in your mouth. So I put this egg in the mouth and I'm coming down the tree. I already got to like that far, I jumped, didn't I? So, I don't know, that's probably a pigeon's egg, I don't know what it was. It was pretty horrible.
Did you used to go bird watching much with him?
Just got the park and doing it.
No, I was more for the other birds. Just when we were young, I'd go with him, you know.
Now, the thing that must have worried you about Billy was his fast driving, because throughout the 60s, there's one conviction after another, isn't there?
Absolutely, yes. When he first started, he got the MG first. And Albert was working in this butcher shop, you know, and he'd had an accident in the shop. And Billy was home at the time. And of course, when we got to know that he'd had this, you know, with this, the butcher's where he worked. And of course, Billy said to me, I've got to go down and what you've got to sign, because he's got to have this thing was caught in this mincing machine, you know. And he said, you've got to come down. Well, I'd never been. I'd never been in this car, you know. And he said, I know, I'm going to take you down. Well, when I seen this MG, you know, sports car, I thought, oh gosh, am I going to get in that? And he got in and had zoos, you know. And that was the first time, you know, I got in the car, because he had loads of cars after that. He had the Lotus that was in Great Yarmouth. And as soon as he did. As soon as he got outside the theatre in Yarmouth, Great Yarmouth, he was doing a tour there, and the police knew exactly when he was going to come out that door, and he'd be on him. And the fines used to come to the house for me to pay, you know. We were paying fines all the time, reading fines for him, and it's like as though he just got in it and they knew, you know, they were after him for it. That's what happened.
You presumably took a great interest in the cars he had, Albie, didn't you? Because you've been very interested in cars yourself.
Yeah, well, the MG was car, he crashed out a couple of times, that car. And the Lotus Super 7, because when he was in Yarmouth, it was the summer seasons, we used to go down the prom in the Lotus, you know. Or sometimes he'd have a bike and we'd go down on the bike. And he did get speeding fines quite regular. But in them days, I don't know, actually, 10 or something like that. But when he got done, he always got done about 6 times more than anybody else. Maybe it's because he was in show business or something like that, you know. But the thing is, it's gone reverse with me. I didn't get no fines very often this year, about 2 in a month.
So you're getting like him, right. Another question, please. We can just take a couple more. There's one there, was there?
Albus, Jean. When did Billy like acting? When he made about 3 films and then. Did he like acting? And if he did, would he like to be a serious actor as well as a pop singer?
Acting.
I don't know really that. I think he enjoyed what he was doing, like the singing and that, but he did act in a couple of films.